sting. A few months ago, she barely would have felt a spell that small. She ignored both pains and focused on the face of her attacker, illuminated by the ball of white light, hovering above. It was a sharp, almost triangular face, with high cheekbones slicing from his chin to his coal-black eyes. He looked slightly younger than she was, but something hard lurked in those eyes, something that marked him as an assassin.
"I'll decide what's necessary,"
he said. His voice was terse, with a gravelly edge.
"How did you find the entrance to our caves?"
It took great effort to act cavalier with that knife's edge on her skin. But Ileni rolled her eyes.
"How do you think?"
"The elders told me." He stepped back so abruptly that Ileni lost her balance. By the time she steadied herself, the knife had disappeared beneath his gray tunic. Ileni drew in a deep breath, relieved to feel cool air instead of steel against her skin. Not that he couldn't kill her with his bare hands, of course. And nobody knew exactly how Absum and Cadrell had died.
"I'm a renegade sorceress," she snapped. "Who did you think I was?"
"I didn't." His dark eyes narrowed.
"The renegade have never sent a woman to serve as our tutor before."
"Is there something in our agreement that forbids it?" Her words hung in the air like a challenge. Melted snow crept from her neck, down her back, curving lazily along her spine, and she itched to reach back and rub it away. She restrained herself from saying something just to break the silence. Finally, the assassin turned and said,
"Come with me."
Ileni drew in a deep breath and hoped he hadn't heard it. She followed him down the dark corridor, the mage light hovering at her shoulder, wondering if it made sense to feel as relieved as she did. Not getting killed within 2 minutes of arrival was, well, it was something. It was a start. It was probably better than anyone back home expected of her. The elders had explained kindly but bluntly that they were sending her because she was expendable. If she managed to find out who had killed her predecessors, that would be helpful, but if not, and they didn't hold out much hope, at least she would buy them time. She supposed she should feel grateful to them for not lying, for granting her that much respect, but she couldn't quite manage it. Her bitterness was a barrier against any conciliatory thoughts. More than anything, she was tired of being bitter and sad and angry. She missed her former self, a self she barely remembered, even though it had vanished only 6 months ago, and a life that had been happy and filled with purpose. The assassin walked with a steady, implacable stride. Ileni refused to go faster to keep up with him, so within seconds he had disappeared into the blackness ahead of her. The mage light traveled with her, casting enough light for her to see jagged rock walls on both sides of her. Stalactites jutted from the low ceiling, like blades, just high enough that they didn't touch her head, but low enough that she worried they were going to. They had probably been designed this way on purpose, to frighten anyone who dared enter the assassin's caves. She did not duck her head. Around the next bend of the tunnel, the darkness disappeared. She stood at the threshold of a large cavern filled with a maze of unearthly pillars, and lit by dozens of glowing stones set into the arching walls. Fingers of multicolored stone hung from the ceiling and rose from the ground, reaching toward each other. It was like a majestic hall, except that the eerie shapes of the stones and their unexpected shimmering colors were nothing a human mind could have invented. The assassin crouched atop one of the shorter, thicker pillars, his body a curve of taut muscles beneath nondescript gray clothes. He looked more like a weapon than a person.
"Pretty, isn't it?"
he said.
"Didn't the elders tell you about this?"
"Of course," Ileni said stiffly, letting the mage light vanish. What they had said, actually, was, "Parts of the caves are very